of their business and political interests, and they are concealing from the people of Austria and Germany and Spain, Norway, France, the UK, the extent of the danger they are in, just as is happening in the USA.
All right, I've got another question here from a Master Gunnery Sergeant, and I'm not going to tell you where he's at because there's so few Master Gunnery Sergeants in the United States Marine Corps. He comes forth and he asks the simple question, is that with all the media being orchestratedly owned by the same people, the evidence that you have going forth to Austrian government officials, is there any hope that you can get people to open their eyes in the Austrian government and the Austrian legal system to do something?
Yes, the police are acting, the anti-terrorism unit is acting, and now people are finding out what's going on here in Austria. It's taken me months to get people to begin to write about it. That's how controlled the media is, and it's just starting now. There are blogs discussing it. There was a report in the mainstream media. So it's just beginning. The awareness is beginning, and it's exploding here, just as it is in the USA.
And I want to point out, James, wait, I just want to point out, Drew, I want to point out that people all over the world need to file these criminal charges with their individual law enforcement units wherever they may live. You can download James' documents. You can take them to your own police. We need to do this on a massive scale all over.
This is what the first sergeant chimed in and says, are these documents easily prepared in which we can use here in the United States?
Indeed, they are, and provided you get the right ones and not one of the circulating, corrupted, discredited copies, you can just download them. You can go to your local district court. You can fill out the criminal complaint form. Please put in U.S. defendants, because there is only jurisdiction for a U.S. court if you list the U.S. defendants. If you list WHO and the UN, it goes to the FBI. I've already sent the documents to the FBI, and the aim is to get your local law enforcement to do something, to read this stuff, and to be on your side in this fight. So please list U.S. defendants in your criminal complaint, hand in the criminal charges, hand in the extra 150-page dossier of evidence, and you can walk away, because, as I did, I handed in my criminal charges, and the police are taking action.
Okay, guys, I will have this set up for the U.S., so when the ones that will be pulled from a Marine's disposition will already be set up. After I get my copy, I'll make sure you guys have one, and I will have my own charges filed here in the United States District Court within the next 2 weeks. I promise you guys. And then you'll have a certified copy of which you can draft and put forth in your own U.S. District Court in the area that you're located. Jane, I definitely will work this out with you personally.
Great, Drew. I really appreciate that. And there are two things you can do. You can file the criminal charges, or you can file an injunction asking your court to ban the vaccine. This is a civil case, and that's a separate legal document. You can fill out a civil form, a civil complaint form, and just try and get your court to have the vaccine banned in your county and your state. So you can do two things.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can also do, I just got a pop-up email, an IM from a friend that reminded me about the sheriffs. There are 7 brand new sheriffs up in Montana who stand for the Constitution, and we will get those documents in their hands. And that's what it's going to take, is networking with patriots like Jane who are doing their due diligence. One more question that from a Marine who asked, did she say that she went to the University of Edinburgh, one of the most prestigious universities in Europe?
I did. I've got my MA degree from the University of Edinburgh in English. So I think that also shows how, even if you've studied English, you can still find out what's going on in this medical field. You can use your brain, and this is another strength, I think, of the Army and the military. They learn competences and skills, and they learn to transfer it, and they learn to be flexible, they learn to be adaptable, and they learn to work through problems and to face difficulties. So I think even in a civil setting, dealing with something like this, the military training, the military attitude, you know, is very, very important now in this fight, this legal fight against, you know, these people. So, yep.
And they took an oath to protect us from the enemies within. And that is why they have to see where the enemies are. And it's a very hard thing for us in the States to face what's actually happening in this country. Of course, the economic collapse is happening at the same time as the pandemic is coming out. So we know what's coming down the pike. You know, what better distraction could we have from an economic collapse in this country than people dying in huge numbers from a pandemic that's caused by a vaccine?
Can I ring in here for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jane, can you give us a little background, either now or even in a blog, on just what gives the World Health Organization police powers over the entire planet? Because you're saying that they will usurp the powers of sovereign nations and take away any authority that we don't have a president, by the way. It's an agency. It became an agency in 1947, I believe, and Barack Obama didn't swear an oath in front of the American people. We don't have a president, so this figurehead will have its power usurped by a foreign entity. Can you explain that for us?
I wish I could, Pat. You've hit the nail on the head. It's the same in Austria as the USA. One little health minister or chancellor signs a little decree behind closed doors, which is never publicized, which hands over the whole of Austria to who in the event of a pandemic? And nobody knows about this decree. And we're all being, you know, kind of sold down the river by a little clique who have got into high office pretending to serve us, and they are actually selling us down the river.
Yes. It's high crimes and misdemeanors. It's treason of the highest order, and it's happening all around the globe because of this genocidal agenda that they have. They want to decrease the population of the world to 500,000 or 500 million, as they've actually written in stone on the Georgia guideposts that are here in the States. So that's what they're doing, and that's what we have to face. And Jane, your information getting out to the military on this show, I can assure you, this is going to have reverberations that are going to be heard around the world. And I'm so grateful to you for coming on the show. I know that this is a very severe long-distance call for you. I want to thank you. And Jane's going to be on my show next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. So you can tune in to RBN next Saturday and learn more about this. And she can give us updates as to what's going on. And if there's anything else you want to share with the listeners, Jane, please do so.
Well, I just thank you for having me on your show, and because of my own military background, I really appreciated the chance to talk to soldiers around the world and to say, you're a soldier, you have rights, you give a lot to your country, and your country should give something back to you, and it shouldn't take your health and your life for the wrong purpose. And the right purpose now for the soldiers of America is to stand up for the people of America and the Constitution of America.
I totally
I have one personal question. I have something that, or I have access to the phone number that you're calling from, and I know that the prefix for Austria is 43. But if I'm in the United States and I call you, do I hit 143 or is it 043?
If you call me, it's 0043.
Okay, 0043. Okay. We don't need to go any further. I will try to get in touch with you here within the. Is this number I can call you within the next 30 minutes?
I'm afraid I have to go, Drew. This evening is not a good time to call me, but you can email me anytime.
Can I call you on at this number within the next hour or so?
Well, unfortunately not, because it's 1 a.m. here. And,
I just realized it's 1 a.m. How about tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock?
Tomorrow morning's fine, anytime, Drew. But I have to go to the police and have a very heavy schedule, and so I have to get up early in the morning.
Okay, Jane, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next Saturday. on What's Hailing America on republicbroadcasting.org.
Yes, and God bless you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jane.
Bye. Bye.
I wasn't
Bye, Pat.
even thinking.
How's that?
At the time, my girlfriend, and so she rushed